Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 163 of the Eavesdrop Podcast. It's not going anywhere. I've changed my mind. I planned on quitting doing this thing because it was just getting, because the boundaries of having to do it physically makes it difficult for me to be on a consistent basis now. Back in the day when I first, the Infinite thing happened first, I had so much free time that me and Matt could travel anywhere at all times. And we did podcasts in London. We've done podcasts pretty much everywhere, except for, I say everywhere, but that's not true. Just mostly in the United States. What am I talking about? Legendary player, great friend. Definitely, in my opinion, the greatest console player of all time, Mr. Matthew Piper FormaL.
Hey guys.
Matt's clapping too. Last time we did one of these, Matt, was February 24th of 2022. So it's about to be 2 years in 2 months. I find it often hard to do podcasts with people that I used to see. I don't see you now. I think we saw more of each other when you were playing. When were we hanging out like almost on a daily basis?
When I first joined the Halo team?
No, was it?
Yeah.
So what year was it? 2022?
Yeah. And I was around a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you were around a lot.
I was around a lot. And I often, as I was saying, I often don't do podcasts with people that I see on a daily basis because I'm like, what the fuck can we talk about? So I asked AI or G-Rock or whatever to come up with some interesting thoughts about you, and it asked me pretty much everything. It's like, what would you recommend people? How do they get into gaming? Like, what is the best?
It's still like NPC though.
Yeah, super, right? So because it's the people that watch this know everything there is to know about gaming. They've heard it all. Like, they heard about practice, they heard about consistency, they heard about every single piece of advice that you can give about anything, streaming, about gaming, content creation, about competing, about being a good teammate, about name it. What is one piece of advice that you wish people knew?
That I wish people knew?
Yeah,
about what?
Like just an advice that has nothing to do with any of the traditional, typical topics that we would discuss.
You ready for your relationships to fall apart?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's the truth.
Oh, just all relationships, friendships.
Yeah, just you grow, I went pro when I was in high school. When you're in high school, your world only extends as far as your high school goes. And then once I started traveling a bunch, competing, it's just feels like it's like an old life type of thing. And you kind of just move on from everything you kind of once knew. And you kind of just you don't care because you know they're going to be okay and stuff, and your friends are going to be okay, but you slowly detach, and once you're in this space, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're just now your world is Twitter and Twitch and YouTube, and you know what I'm saying? All your relationships that you previously had are going to fall apart. I mean, obviously you can still balance, right? You can have a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? You can have a good relationship with your parents and stuff like that. It's just stuff requires a lot of time, a lot of effort. At this level, moving, it's a lot. So got to be ready for that.
That's very good. That was very introspective of you. I never really thought about that, but I haven't thought about that because I still have the same circle of friends. Are you are you good at maintaining friendships?
Fuck no.
No,
fuck no. I always feel bad about that.
Yeah.
My high school friends, when I won COD champs, for example, I got a bunch of texts from my closest friends from high school, and they were saying, it was just piled in with all the congratulation texts I was getting, and I realized months later I never even responded to them, and it's just I mean, I was busy, at the time, I was just reading a whole bunch of shit, probably saw it, just skimmed past it, and then but I realized later damn, that's fucked up, because these guys were my best friends at one point, and it just felt like I was just being a bad friend, but it wasn't I was intentionally not texting them. It's just like I said, you just grow apart, and they still pay attention to what I do. They were texting me before my last Halo champs, you got the shit, all the shit that we're all watching and shit.
Do you get bothered by stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like when you're so locked in that like nobody should be like me, for example. I'm like that. I'm like if I'm about to do something, I don't need anybody to tell me good luck. I don't need anybody to tell me like watch out, because now I have them. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let you down fucking too. But I guess when you're a winner like you don't think of things like this. I would think of.
No, yeah, I don't. I just kind of read it. Doesn't really.
I'm gonna give you the perfect example.
Okay.
My mom sometimes sends me DMs of like reels or whatever on Instagram, and every single time I see her name on there, I'm like, Mom, this is work. You know what I'm saying, in my head, and I'm like, oh. Then I'll reply to her, obviously, but I'll be like, oh, it's like I feel like it's interjecting with work, or my personal first family. You know what I'm saying? It's interference.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, so I always wonder that, because people do, when people text me and stuff like that, when I'm like in the middle of something or I'm doing something or you guys are playing, and like my boy Los would text me when you guys would, or when any of our Call of Duty teams go down and say, man, what happened? I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not trying to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the worst,
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah, I used to get really mad at my mom because she would always tell me like, so I have glasses and like I don't need them for my screen. I need them for like if I were to be driving a car, can't see very far. But like I would lose a series or something, be really mad. Then she'd be like, I'm telling you, you got to wear the glasses and like you'll win. I'm just like, dude. And like after like the 10th time that was texted to me, and she got like so mad. But yeah, so I get that.
You got mad?
Yeah, I definitely got mad.
Did you say anything?
So I was like, it's not the fucking glasses.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying it's these magical glasses. Like, yeah, shit.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the people, because I just saw, the reason I'm asking this is because I just saw a TikTok in which there's this soccer kid, he's playing and his mom's recording, and some kid like runs up to him and like just does a regular tackle, takes the ball away from him, and then she screams, Rev, he fouled him. And then the kid gets up, like does this himself, is like, Mom, shut up. But not in like a annoyed way. It's just like, Mom, shut up, I got this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what is it about that sort of love from those that are so close to you that sometimes like makes you a little bit apprehensive about saying, taking it for what it's worth? No?
I mean, I can't really relate to that too much.
Yeah.
But.
Well, you just did with like your mom. You're like, it's not the glasses, Mom.
Oh, yeah,
anything else like that? Like your brothers, your dad?
Nah. My dad doesn't really text me. When like if I win, he'll congratulate me. If I lose, he knows like leave me alone type of thing.
Yeah.
My brother will like.
That's an interesting point. Go on.
My brother will like text me or like talk to me a little bit, but he doesn't piss me off. My mom with the glasses thing though, that was pissing me off there for a little bit.
Yeah. My dad doesn't check in on me. I don't check in on him, but we see each other every like once a week. We see each other and we sort of catch up. But that is interesting. That it's the moms that are. You're still always going to be the baby, I guess, even at 43 years old.
Yeah.
Thank you, feed me. All right, so a lot has changed, obviously. I think since we last did a podcast, you have gone on this like sort of rebirth of yourself and your career, going back to the game that you originally like loved. What is the one thing that you've learned as a competitor since the last time that we spoke? Is it while you think about it, I'll give you a couple more like thoughts, experimental thoughts there. Like, do you realize playing both that it's you as a player and not necessarily the game or the abilities? Because they're different games. So I've played Halo before, and I just can't get used to the movements, or it just doesn't compute with me. What is it about you, do you think?
I think I realized kind of what I like kind of assumed, which was like I still have it and I still wanted to win and stuff, and like that I was just like in a I don't know what COD was doing to me, but it just like wasn't where I should have been as a competitor. Like just like wasn't putting my best foot forward at all, wasn't even putting an effort, and was okay with not putting an effort, like was just there for vibes basically. And it was just like looking back on it now, like I'm obviously mad at myself, but like at the time it was fun. That was exactly what I wanted to do. We had a really fun team. Both the 21 and 2022 years, like, or 2020 and 2021, excuse me, like, just pure fun. Like, wasn't really there to win. Like, we were there to win, obviously, but not really, And, like, that's always something I'll look back on and regret, but at the same time, it was just, like, a really fun time, and I just, like, I realized once I went back to Halo that, like, I still had that really serious and passionate side that I, like, wanting to win and stuff, and, like, you could still have fun along the way, and obviously, but I just, like, reignited the thing that I thought I lost. So it was definitely something that Learned is definitely really good.
Obviously, we just parted ways with APG. Does it, obviously you've been on combination number 100th of teammates that you've had throughout your career. Brad obviously was one of the early ones for you. Parting ways with him had to have been hard. What goes into a decision like that, especially from an inner working relationship standpoint?
I mean, like, Brad's like always going to be like one of my best friends from gaming, regardless of what happens, and regardless if like, he beats me every single event next year. It's like, we're always going to be close no matter what. We've been friends for a long time. And like, the decision was really hard just because like, I'm going to miss having him around. And like, I do think he's still good enough to play on our team and stuff like that. I just think that the way we lost was just like, so like, I don't know, so disheartening for the team that we just felt like we needed to like change something. Yeah, the team just came together and decided that's what they wanted to do. So, I mean, I'm gonna miss him though. It's like, one of my best friends, and like,
You too.
he's a really good kid.
Yeah,
he's a really good kid, and I mean, like, we're still cool. We've already talked and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard to make a decision like that though.
Does it? Do you think it'll? So what you're saying is, after competing for close to how many years now?
Like 13, 12.
Close to 15 years. Does decisions like that ever get any easier, or is it its own internal battle every single time?
It's definitely easier, because at this point, like, you kind of like when I was first like making team changes, like earlier on in my career, I was thinking it's like some huge deal.
Yeah.
Like fucking gonna be like talking about it in calls with people and stuff like that. But like at this point, like, it just happens, man. Like, roster changes are gonna happen, and everybody kind of understands that. Everyone's been around for so fucking long now. Like, wasn't that big of a deal. He took it really well.
Yeah.
Took like a 5-minute Discord call.
Okay.
And like, it was just like, and he wasn't like, he was super understanding about it,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it does get easier as like the longer you're in the show.
You've been playing some Warzone back in the Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Any itch there? Do you feel like you're like, this is cake? It's a cakewalk for me. If I wanted to, I could be back at the top in no time.
Well, like Warzone specifically?
No, just Call of Duty
COD?
in general. Yeah, COD.
No, I mean, there isn't like a thought where I'm just thinking like, yeah, I could probably run all these guys. Like, I mean, like, I probably could. I probably could if you put a gun in my head and said just like run them. But I'm really just playing it out of boredom.
Okay.
I'm just really bored in this off season, and it's filling that void for now. It's been fun. It's new. It's fresh. Like, there's obviously a lot of things you get mad at, so it's not perfect, but it is something new, and it's like fun for now. So I've been playing a lot of it.
Yeah. Now that you're playing out of the downtown office and obviously closing down the HECZ quarters as we did 2 weeks ago, still fresh. Now that you're sitting next to Maniac, and then a little bit further down is Dashy, two of the guys that at some point or another mentored. Is it good vibes in here at all times, especially when you play with them, or do they sometimes get under your skin? Now I know all these answers.
What the fuck?
I know. I know all these answers. I'm literally asking questions that this thing put in my brain last night.
Them two, they never get under my skin. No,
not
absolutely not.
under your skin, but like not even annoying a
Not
little
even
bit.
a little bit. Neither of them.
Really?
Yeah, not even a little bit.
That's very good. So you've been a good mentor then, because I as a mentor, I think I'm one of the worst. I was never meant to be a good one because I always get like triggered and annoyed, and I'm just
No, yeah, I mean, like, once you understand a person, like Brandon, for example, like, it's hard to get mad at him.
Mhm.
When he's not really doing anything out of like, like trying to piss you off. He's
Mhm.
just the way he is,
yeah.
And
What's
once
obviously he's had his level, his own personal things that he's gone through, the controversies of whether he had the commitment to show up on time and did it on time. What is one thing that he's taken from you that he's implemented? I know I know these answers.
I think he's. I don't know if there's like a specific thing. I just know that for me and him to separate after we teamed, and then I went on to Halo, and then he went on to his COD journey. Like, we're watching each other's journeys. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's watching me like go on and like win a bunch of these tournaments and like saying something and then going and doing it.
Mhm.
And then I'm sure that's like sticking with him and motivating him. Just like, he doesn't want to not get any wins. He wants to like be right there with me and like stuff like that. I think that motivates him. So I mean, I'm sure that sticks with him.
One of the things that he said about you while we were traveling is that what he's learned from you the most is the seriousness of the level that it takes from a commitment standpoint to say that you are going to lead something or get to go somewhere and accomplish something, that's something that he like never took into consideration before. Is that something that you've always had from a mentality standpoint? Like, you know, if I commit to this, I have to see it through. If I don't, what sort of feelings do you have that deter you from not completing a task?
Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, in this space specifically, like, what drives me the most is like my own ego. You know, like, I don't want to look like a fool. You know, like, you can't be saying all this shit, saying, you know, you're like a non-misser and like, you know, you're just nasty, you're beam, and then not go and fucking start missing shots. Like, you just gotta just like say what you mean, and if you're gonna say something, you have to do it. Because if you don't, it's gonna get brought up, and you're gonna look like an idiot. So, like, you just gotta just fucking, I don't know, just do exactly what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah, that's a level of commitment though, because you know most people say, "Oh, I'm gonna gun you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," and then just don't work towards keeping up with that promise. They just go about their life as if that was part of a show. You've obviously always been a stoic, serious dude that never really boasts or talks shit. You have your moments, and when you do, like you said earlier, if gun to my head, I'll run them. Like you said that with a level of confidence that, you know, it made me believe it, and I do believe it.
Yeah.
Has that always been part of your attitude, or is that something that you committed to?
Yeah, it's just always been part of me. Like, I mean, once you like, if you're real with yourself and you know how good you are at video games, like, you can have that like level of like, you know, you can like tap into that if you need to. If like you know you're that good, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've seen yourself do great shit, if you've like seen like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have so many things to look back on and just be like, oh yeah, I'm that guy, you know? Like, I just be confident like in anything I'm doing or like whatever game I'm playing. And it's just like, I mean, obviously it helps. I've been doing it for so long and been at the top for so long. So, but like it was there like at the start, you know? Like when I was 15, I felt the same fucking way. Like, wasn't scared to go into like the pro league with the Halo pros that I was like seeing on TV forever. Like, just wanted to fucking just like chow them, you know what I mean? Like, and just like take their spot basically. It's just always been there.
Do you remember any time in your career, like the one thing that pops out of your head where you were like on main stage, walking up to main stage and being a little nervous?
I remember I was nervous. 2011 Dallas was the first Reach event, and I went with like 3 Halo pros that gave me a shot basically. Like, people didn't know I was gonna go to the event. They were like thought I was not gonna show up and shit. And I didn't know I was gonna fucking if I was gonna go. We're playing. We go through AM bracket. We get to pool play. Back then, final boss is still final boss. Like, they just won Halo 3 Nats. Like, is like, you know, they're that team. Play on feature station, and I had like, I don't know, 12 pros just standing behind my POV specifically on, like, because back then a feature station, you know what it looks like. It's like an elevated stage, but you could stand behind people's POVs. There was a monitor above their monitor. It's like a live feed. Had like 12 pros behind me, all hoping I was just gonna be shit, and I was just frying. And I could hear them like. I could hear like the little subtle like things they would say in between, you know, like my deaths or my kills, where like I could tell it was like a pro saying it too, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, and they're all just sitting there not really saying much, but like I could hear under their breath like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this kid, like, what the hell? This guy's actually like, I don't know. And I could just tell like right then and there, like I was nervous to play against final boss, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, what the fuck? But I just came out frying, and I was like, dude, I don't know, like, and it kind of just gave me so much like confidence. Just went on to fry and just like took over.
I'm gonna give you esports, and tell me the first player that you think is the best that comes to mind, the most natural one. I won't say anything in Call of Duty. Halo. I mean,
Ogre
actually,
2.
yeah. Say it again.
Ogre 2.
Okay, cool. I was gonna give you the disclaimer that no current players. So, you know. All right. So Counter Strike.
Simple.
Okay. League of Legends.
Baker.
Apex.
Hal. Imperial Hal.
Those are the only ones I cared about personally. Valorant.
Demon 1. That kid's like the best.
Yeah.
He's pretty insane.
Very cool. Do they ever reach out? Do you ever reach out? Do you guys ever try to play with each other? Because I know that Simple was playing like something like obviously Shroud was playing. Do you just wait? Do you never reach out to anyone? No one ever reaches out?
You're asking if I just reach out and start cock riding and say,
No.
play with me and something?
Like, hey, you want to play a game with me? You
Any way that could come off, it would just be cock riding, and no, it's not who I am. And like, I think I think and like when you're at like this level where like they've obviously seen me win Call of Duty events. I've obviously seen them win their games. Like probably not Faker, but like the other ones maybe like where you kind of just have like a respect from afar. You know, like you might follow each other on Twitter and stuff, and but you don't really interact or you don't really like, you know what I'm saying? But you still follow each other and like whatever. But no, I think it's just like a level of respect there that you just understand they're just good as shit at their shit.
Yeah, I always told us, cause from a creative standpoint, like that's what you do, right? Collaborations is like what gets people hype, and I always thought, I'm like, man, if you know, when we did the FaZe, like Optic always had this, like, you know, you don't need anybody to do these sort of things, right? So when I got Optic back and Banks called me, FaceTime me, he's like, yo, we got to do this collab. I'm like, man, you know, I never thought about doing a collab like that. I never thought about doing that because I was so So when I think about the amount of collabs that can exist out there in the world, and you see Embo sort of doing them, the collabs like that, but you know what I'm saying, like a FormaL Scump, like the T2P drop, like if you guys actually did something and then created a level of marketing moments, and I say marketing, but it's just, you know, content that you guys create together that's fun for both, like and what sort of level that would elevate the meaning of the merch drop, right? Because fashion is time. It marks a moment in time. You can refer to it and what was going on in those days. So I always wonder, like, if you guys ever hit each other up and say, yo, I just started streaming, or if you ever want to collab or not, because it just seems like cockriding.
Cockriding.
Is it though? I don't know, man. I think you can give somebody a level of respect without
depends if you've talked
like
to them
writing
before.
a Johnson.
It depends if you've talked to them before. Like I'm not just gonna go into Simple's DMs.
No, of
and
course,
be like,
of course.
Yeah, let's play. Like,
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, but like if you see him and he's like solo queuing somewhere, you know, like, yo, I'm on, hit me up.
On the off chance he's playing Warzone,
you play Valorant, you played Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but I like know my like lane. Like I know what it's like to play with someone who's like significantly worse than me at a game, you know, like just to like play with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, if I'm playing with Nick, like I'm not like expecting to like, you know, just have a locked sesh, you know, it's gonna be kind of trolly, kind of fun. Yeah. Like, but I'm not trying to like throw them into that sim. I don't know, whatever. But no, I haven't.
Is there in your future, as you see yourself obviously maturing through the space and going back and forth, and this is the last question from the suggestion box from Grok, is as you're growing and seeing yourself through this thing, what is your future plans for like beyond this? I mean, obviously content creation has to be a base for it, obviously, but aside from that, is there anything that piques your interest, something that you've always wanted to do, or you know, that sort of thing? Like I want to coach baseball, or
nah, I mean like nothing like that. I mean like anything that I've thought about doing would require like schooling, and I don't want to go back to school no matter what. Like I've always been interested in like being like a veterinarian.
Oh yeah.
But like there's just no way I would. It's just like no way. Or like a therapist. I find it really interesting how like what makes people's brains tick and like, understanding it, and like it interests me. But
yeah.
I'm not gonna go to school for that.
No hobbies though on the side. Like I'm like, oh man, I wish like one day I'm gonna own a food truck, a taco truck, and I'm gonna drive around like you know, those ice cream trucks, the ice cream, but I'm gonna do that, but with Mexican tacos. Yeah, so I'll pull up to the neighborhoods, just serve up, and then break out.
Good idea.
It's the only kind I have. But go on. Do you have any?
Nah, nothing like that, bro.
Nothing like that. So you'd have to go to a school for veterinarian. Yeah, open heart surgery. I've always wanted to do open heart surgery, and you know, I don't want to go back to school for that, but
yeah, dude, fuck that. Goddamn.
Would you ever consider? And I'm finishing the questions here. Okay, I know the answers. So would you ever consider coaching or any level of like general manage?
If I was like strapped for cash,
okay,
sure. Sure, I'll fucking be the best coach you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it doesn't really interest me.
No?
Not really. Like, I'm not very good at telling someone. Like, I'm not very good at being like super nice to someone. Like, I would just hurt people's feelings probably. I would just be like, bro, you're like, you're just like, this is like,
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
This
like,
is one of those moments where I got to do the opposite of teaching and encouraging. I got to tell you the truth.
yeah, I'm
You
just, like,
just
bro,
don't
like,
got it.
you're
I
just,
know because I have it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna be like, dude, I just don't think you're gonna be great.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, bro. I was like an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, then he becomes somebody big and he's like, that's what you needed. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah,
You needed
exactly.
my doubts.
So no matter what, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. All right. That aside, I think that the first half of that was pretty good, right? G-Rock did his thing. Pretty good questions. Again, it's difficult for me to frame them because of my ADHD brain already knows the answer, and it's dumb. Now let's get into some more deep conspiracies that you have seen lately on the internet. There's been a lot of things that have been popping up lately. More UFOs being spotted in Mexico. How far do you think we are before truly making contact?
That's the question.
That is the question. That's my question.
Okay.
G-Rock could never.
How far? Depends, bro. Like, on one hand, I want to say like we've already made contact, right? Like, I would like to believe that we have made contact and like just kept super low key. On the other hand, I hope that it doesn't happen because I think that if aliens did find us, there's like no way they'd want to just be like friends. You know, I just don't think like, I think humans are cool to be friends. You know, like we're cool to send out the fucking, that shit, whatever that shit was called, Sputnik. Was that what it's called? The thing that we sent off with like the records and shit?
Yeah.
And it's still flying and shit? Like,
I'm saying yes if I know, but I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? That shit we sent off in like the 60s or 70s or some shit?
Yeah.
It's been floating
It's like a
with
time
like
capsule.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like still in it's like in an interstellar space right now. Like other aliens aren't doing that. Like we're like looking for friends and shit.
Yeah.
Like we're just like, you know what I'm saying? We just look so like pathetic.
We
Like,
sent out a video of a cat into
like,
space following a laser. Right? It's a cat following a laser. When you send something like that as a human, look, the thing is, the thing that we have to consider also is what is their psychology like? Do they know what humor is?
Right, exactly.
Or are they literal people?
Exactly.
And I mean, not literal, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So you don't know, right? You're like, yeah, are we cool to hang out with? Absolutely. Are there comments? I mean, comments out there. Are there comments out there that can lead to? Hold on a second. What is this, Matt?
The Voyager. What is Sputnik? Oh, that's like some Russian shit.
Yeah, Sputnik. The Sputnik, I think, is like a station that I watch a lot of space movies and I still don't know. So
I think Sputnik was like a rocket ship.
So it's called the Golden Record, and the contents of the record were selected by NASA, the NASA committee chaired by Carl Sagan. Okay, what is it? To this, they added musical selections from different cultures and eras, and spoken greetings from Earth in 50 languages. That's the thing, like language itself, right? And printed messages from President Carter and UN Secretary General Waldheim. What would you say?
What would I say?
Yeah. Like, well, how would you best describe humanity?
Dude. I wouldn't. I can't. I have no idea. Hi.
They say you get abducted.
Uh-huh.
And you're lying there naked. Right? Lights everywhere like this. There's no beeps because they don't know what beeps are. So there's no beeping machines. And then they say, why shouldn't we probe you more? Describe something about humanity that will make me not want to see you as just a test that I'm testing on.
I would just act like I love the probing.
You'd flip it on a reverse psychology. And then if you see them chuckle,
no, please. Please don't probe me.
Humor. It's like, we're funny. It's like, well, what is fun? All right, that's a good topic.
And also, like, I don't know, Elon's pretty much living out like a movie right now. Like, he's like trying to go to Mars. Like, he's trying to like move, like trying to like make us like an interplanetary species.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to do that, like, which is insane. Like, insane. Like, imagine you had to do that.
No.
Like, there's just like no way. And
no, it takes a level of personality to get there.
yeah, I mean,
are all humans accounted for right now, Matt? Are all humans accounted for on the planet? Like, is there anybody in space right now? Obviously, voluntarily in space. And by that I mean that there's many people know that somebody's in space, because I guess you can.
Would you rather be lost at sea or just like pushed off into space in like a capsule and it's not coming back?
I'm not never coming back regardless.
Yeah. Either scenario, you're gonna die.
How much time do I have? Do I have the same amount of time?
Let's give it a week.
Let's give it a week without water. That makes a little bit of sense. Oh, space for sure.
Why?
Because yes, we know more about space than we do the bottom of our own oceans. But if you are floating, lost at sea, you are seeing what you've seen your entire life, which is the blue skies, and you can breathe the air. Now, if you're in a capsule on both space and underwater, space still to me seems a little bit more intriguing.
It would be kind of intriguing, or it wouldn't be, or it would just be black, and it would be quiet as all fuck. It'd be so quiet, dude.
Yeah.
It'd be so quiet, like you wouldn't even like. You'd probably just sit there and like, dude, it'd be so fucking quiet and cold and dark.
Yeah. Have you ever done one of those sensory deprivation things?
I think I have. I have done one.
Were you shrooming when you did?
I think I did one in Vegas.
No.
Yeah.
Is it with like the salts and shit? Like where you floated?
Yeah, where you just sit there in like a dark tank.
Yeah, you're like floating, like you're weightless.
Yeah.
Really?
I think I did that in Vegas in like 2018.
For just
cause
for fun?
Yeah.
Who'd
it wasn't
you go
very
with?
fun.
Friends?
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I do want to do it.
Well,
also,
I
like
didn't do that.
I always have a ringing in my ears. It's called tinnitus or some shit. But right now I can hear a ringing in my ears.
It's annoying.
I hear a ringing in my ears 24/7.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
Except for when I sleep. But I've learned to ignore it the same way that people ignore to change the.
You're not thinking about it right now?
Now I am, yeah, because I'm focusing on it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just like.
How loud is it?
Like right there is like louder than. I mean, it's right next to my ear. So I mean, it's in my ear, so there's nothing. Like that's louder. The faint motorcycle, that's louder than that. Give me a second. Let me say hello to sponsors. The first sponsor is going to be none other than Shopify. You guys know how I feel about Shopify. I rant and rave about them all the time. They've helped me sell from the beginning of Optic all the way to currently. My wife uses Shopify to sell her leashes. Like this is a website, a platform that we have been using for the longest time just because of its ease of use. So it's just one of those things. Ever since I started making videos, like from the beginning, an online store was the furthest thing from my mind. But now through Shopify, it has made it so much easier that it literally takes nothing but a little bit of effort and time to set up your account, set up your products, and then get going, right? Whether you're selling a little or you're selling a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing however you want. Shopify is a global commerce platform that help you at every stage of your business. From the launch of your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way from the did we just hit 1 million order stage? Shopify is here to help you grow. Whether you're sending candles, whether you're selling mini walls with graffiti on them, whether you're selling leashes, whatever it is that you're selling, outdoor outfits, you name it. Shopify helps you everywhere from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person point-of-sale system. Wherever and whatever it is you're selling, Shopify has you covered. Because, if you guys didn't know this, Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklyn, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is here to support your success every step of the way. Lastly, Shopify helps you turn your browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout at 36% or better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And that's just facts. And you sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your A-Power all-star because business that grow with Shopify. And right now, if you sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/eavesdrop, that's all lowercase, but I'll put a link in the description down below to make it easy for you to just click on it. Go to shopify.com/eavesdrop now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/eavesdrop. Next, but certainly not least, we have HelloFresh. You guys know the story. Maddie and I split it. It's teamwork here. Why don't you say hello to a stress-less holiday season with the help of HelloFresh by skipping the grocery store and save time with easy, tasty recipes delivered right to your door. 'Tis the season for giving and gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can also be the season for saving. Actually, save money this month with the fresh recipes delivered cheaper than takeout. That's fire. And with pre-proportioned ingredients, you'll never waste money on excess food. Spend your time this month shopping for gifts and shipping cocoa, not stuck in a checkout line. Sign up for HelloFresh and get everything you need to whip up a fresh, tasty meal delivered to your door Just choose your recipes, select a delivery date, and relax, knowing the dinner is on the way. HelloFresh has over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items to choose from every week. So it's easier than ever to find something that everybody will enjoy. I usually go with anything that has beef. Anything that has beef, I'm going to get it. From the Mexican recipes, the Tex-Mex recipes, I get whatever it is that has some beef in it. That's my personal one. Matt usually likes to go with the chicken. I don't know why, but the chicken ones that I have had by accidents are really, really good. So if you go to HelloFresh.com/HECZ and use code HECZ for free breakfast for life. Did you know that HelloFresh does more than just dinners? From easy breakfast to start your morning off right to a 10-minute lunch or satisfying snacks for both adults and kids. HelloFresh has tasty choices for every mealtime occasion, and the best part, no grocery trip is required. So right now, if you want to talking about the free breakfast, if you want free breakfast for life, if you go to HelloFresh.com/H3CZ free, that's hex free, and use code H3CZ free, altogether hex free, for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/hex free with code hex free to get you what you need. I'm going to put the link in the description down below, plus the code, so make sure that you utilize it correctly, because who doesn't want to have free breakfast for life? I know I do. So do check it out. Link in the description. HelloFresh.com/hex free. That's H3CFREE. Back to my man, Matt. You saw that Call of Duty went back to YouTube. Subsequently, Seth got taken down. We got taken down. It wasn't just Seth. It was us. Optic got taken down. How do you feel about, like, now that you've been gone from the CDL for 2 years, for the last 2 seasons, this one included? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. How do you view the CDL now that you're out of it? Obviously, not having to deal with what we do.
Fuck. Like, I think 5 years from now, we're gonna look back on the CDL, at least from a player's perspective, not just everyone else's. From a player's perspective, it's gonna be sick that the salaries got bumped so fucking high and everyone made a quick buck. But at the end of the day, like, I can't imagine anyone likes these events more than they liked the events before. Like, there's just no way. If they experienced the ones before, there's a lot of younger players who this is the only thing they experience, and I feel bad for them. Going in there, playing 1 match a day, going back, like, it's just like, that's just not how this shit's supposed to go. Not these games, not Call of Duty, not Halo. Like, it should never be like that. It's the pool play Friday, the open bracket, all that shit. That's just like what Call of Duty is. That's what MLG is. It's like what everyone loves. Like, and the CDL just completely stripped that away, like completely killed the challenger scene. Like, I don't even know.
They haven't announced anything up until this point, right, Matt?
I mean, like, it just seems like, I mean, if I don't know shit, but like from my point of view, it looks like the CDL is going to die in like 2 years tops. Like, that's what it seems like. It seems like they're just doing a lot of shit wrong. Yeah, I don't really know the ins and outs of like what happened with Seth and you guys, but I mean, like, that's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, just shooting themselves in the foot any chance they get, not really making any like cool, interesting new things that are bringing to like year in, year out. Like, with New Year's, like, you should expect something cool. Like, oh, by the way, this year we're doing this differently. It's just like the same shit, and it's the same like I don't know. It's yeah, and Challenger. I mean, the Challengers thing's just a joke. Like, let's be honest, it's just a huge joke. Anyone that's playing that, I feel bad for, because like even if they're the best shit, I couldn't tell you who the fuck won last year's champs. I don't know a single player on that team.
Yeah.
And like, that's a problem, like, that's a huge problem. And I just feel bad. I mean, like, and I'm not saying the HCS is fucking amazing, like, I think they both could be very improved. But the CDL just sucks because they still have Call of Duty viewership. Like, they can still use that name to pull viewers no matter what. No matter how bad the game is, no matter how bad the league is, they're still going to get viewers. And it's just like, they're still just stepping all over it, like, not really bringing anything exciting, like I said. But yeah, I just feel bad. I think it could be a lot better, obviously, and I just don't think they give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. And it is a sad thing, right? Because we've been at it since 2006, 2000 game battle, 2006-ish, and then all the way through, and then you thought that this was going to elevate it to the next level. it did. You could argue that it did the opposite, right? Because like, where are we at right now? There's never been a path to pro to begin with, but at least we had the open tournaments that allowed for people to sort of transcend and elevate and climb the ladder. But now that that's been completely removed and there was no watering of those plants, we're left in a spot in which we're all thinking, well, what's next? Because the questions that I ask is like, what's 2027 look like? And no one has an answer for that, right? Nobody has an answer to what 2027 is, because we don't know what 2024 is, right? Yeah. We know that we have X amount. We have X amount of majors. We have X amount of weekends where we're playing. But I think there has to be a level of looking forward that somebody has to aspire to be, right? If you're a challengers and they say, all right, this is your challenger, this is how challenger is going to look. On year 7 of the league, we are going to introduce an additional spot or an additional 2 spot, or not necessarily expansion slots, or maybe expansion slots, but something that sort of gives people hope, that keeps them grinding on this thing. Because right now we have how many pros that could be pros still right now that are no longer pros. Like, this league sort of took something away from those aspiring pros, or those pros that were on teams and were making a salary and were dedicating their lives to becoming better at this thing, and that completely went away the second that the CDL came in. So I just don't know how much more anybody can have patience with this thing.
Yeah, I've always liked the idea, like, and this isn't a perfect world. Obviously, this probably isn't even possible. Like, I've always liked the idea where when you take like the bottom 4 teams, I think they tried something like this last year, where you take the bottom 4 teams in the league and you make them play the top 4 teams of challengers, and but put like real stakes on it. Like, winner gets the spot. Winner gets to stand in this fucking this whole next split, this whole next, whatever next major leading up to it. Like, if, for example, like the Las Vegas Legion, if they get slammed by these kids and they got to go play in challengers, and then they got to go and endure that, and they got to work their way back up. I know it's not possible with how the shit's set up, and like there's fucking franchise teams, whatever. But like, I've always liked that, and like I think they tried something with this last year, but I wasn't really watching too closely. But I swear they played like bottom. It was called like
the Pro-Am.
Yeah, the Pro-Am.
Yeah.
But like, there wasn't real stakes on that. It was more so just like giving them a shot to play them once.
Yeah.
But like, put some real stakes on it, like
your salary doubles next year because you're a pro now.
Yeah, like you just, you play for the spot and see what happens. And then if those, I'm not saying all these challengers kids are fucking godlike and they should be in the league. I don't think that.
No.
I think that they should have a chance to try, just so that if I'm a challengers kid, I want to be able to get into the league without just like basically dick riding and stat whoring my way to it. That's like the only way you can do it right now. And I just think it'd be cool to have like, something like at the end of the year we do this, and like we play for the spot, and like you get to see who actually deserves it, and like they get a chance for a whole season, or not a season, but you know what I mean, like a split.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that it just sucks that the whole amateur scene is just kind of just thrown to the curb, and no one really gives a fuck. Like, it's just, if you're in the league, you're just like kind of like they're below you, so you kind of just look down on them and you're just like, that's so Adrian challengers, but like I don't really give a fuck. I have a salary, blah blah blah. And it's like, that's just the way it is, and it's just it's a really harsh reality those kids are gonna have to realize. And it just sucks because there's a lot of like, I'm picturing myself as a 15-year-old like trying to become a pro. Like, my way to become a pro was I had to find a team, whatever, same way they did, but then you go to an event and then you get to play pro teams, and then where you place is like you can become pro right then and there, and then you're a professional. And like, I don't know, it's just different now. It's way harder, it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Well, it's way harder because there's barriers.
There's
now.
being gatekept.
Yeah, exactly. Barriers to entry just have gotten so outrageous that there is no, and why should somebody that knows that they're different and know that they have an ability that, but nowhere to display it, like why would they stick around for this
exactly
thing? Right? Yeah. When they see people like you, when they see people like Shotzi and whoever else, multi FPS players, like when they see people like that, they're like, well, this is like, I mean, look at what you did when Halo went away. You came to Call of Duty and then you fucking cemented your legacy. You know what I'm saying? What Call of Duty as a scene suffers is having talent like you that are up and comers that are just going to leave the fucking scene and will never going to get to benefit from that ascension.
They're going to Apex or Valorant or fucking whatever. Yeah.
So it's difficult, man, because we've been here from the beginning, building this thing all together, right? Team managers and players and hand in hand, sponsors hand in hand, and we're all trying to build this thing. And then when it becomes big enough, we snuff it by taking it away from the community. So yeah, look, if you as an outsider who has been an insider feels that way, I mean, I ask that because as an insider in this thing, I just sometimes like wish that I could just like share like every single point that has happened to see what an outsider person from a different that isn't in Call of Duty would think of the situation as to how this thing has been like managed. Because I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, like screaming in the air, like guys, like hold the fucking phone, like this is pause for a little bit and let's just walk it out, game it out. Let's just think about it. What does this look like in 3 years, right? It's just like what we're seeing now is sort of that, right? Like you get inflated in the beginning of that. There's a lot of money that comes in. All this marketing thing is like a fucking brand new thing. I think remember the CDL logo step stage where you had mega fans on the shit?
Do you remember that?
Like how did that make any sense from the beginning? And that shit was like,
that was pretty trolly. I'm pretty sure I was like getting popcorn thrown at me.
No,
I wasn't.
Oh, imagine. Oh, because you were with no, you came with the Huntsman immediately.
Yeah, no.
No, you I was thinking of the optic ones. Yeah.
You're thinking of the LG
Dash. I was thinking of Dashy when he was on OGLA. But yeah, it's just like the whole way that it was formatted from the beginning. It was like so easy to see where it was going to be, and like we're like seeing it happen right now. Everything that everybody predicted is happening right now. And
I will say too, though, like in the CDL's defense, because I don't want it to make it seem like I just fucking hate the CDL, because I don't give a fuck. I'm neutral. I don't care what happens. I think it could have looked a lot differently if COVID didn't happen. And I mean, like, I don't know, because like, here's the thing, like, we went to Minnesota, then we went to London, and then we went to Atlanta, and I think that was the last one. There was 3 events, and then it was COVID, and we never went back. So I don't remember what the schedule was looking like for that year. I did think the scheduling was brain dead, like as is, just because they were only inviting 8 teams to tournaments. Like that was just brain dead. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it went to online kind of halted all like excitement about the league, in my opinion, as a player, and I'm assuming as a fan, just watching everything online, it was just like super lame. Mm-hmm. Especially with like it being like the new thing, and like now it's just like an online shit. Like I don't know. I just think that just put a whole like just halt on the hype, and just who knows what it could have looked like. But I mean, what we have now is definitely not it. I don't know.
Just remember, right? Like at one point, it was supposed to be only 4 teams that traveled, and they were only going to play 2 matches a day. And yeah, and Hasbro, when he was on Empire, me when I was Huntsman. Like, I remember in one of the team meetings, I texted him, I'm like, yo, you should fucking say something about this. And I wanted him to be the one to say it because, I don't want to, don't come at me for the solution. I'm just going to tell you what the problem is. I'm busy. So I told me and Sora, like, yo, players and fans specifically, the most important thing. No! Nick disagrees, but fans, the most important aspect of them. I'm kidding. He was saying no to something else. Fans are used to paying, I don't know, $100 for an MLG ticket in which they can consume as much competitive Call of Duty from sun up to sun fucking down, and you're telling me that we're gonna take all of that away from them and just put 2 teams? I'm like, what if a team that anyway, we posed a question, 8 changed, and they still launched at 8 per yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what COVID did is that it extended the runway. Had COVID not happened, all the money that would have been spent in 2020, when was COVID? 2021?
2020.
In 2020, all the COVID events that happened, all the 2020 events that would have happened, would have chopped down that money tree a little bit. Boom, 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 little by little. So what we're experiencing today, we would have experienced the year before that.
Okay.
Or even sooner, because everybody would have been like, oh, this isn't.
See, like, that's just the shit that that I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's just the economics behind this thing were fucking ludicrous to fucking begin with.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I do podcasts, and I'm glad that I've always done podcasts, because you can go back and see the shit that I was saying when I was saying it, from the Scuff House all the way through. when we first sold Optic, I'm like, right before that, I'm like, hey, this makes absolutely no sense. But you know, I will promise that I'm never gonna give up on Call of Duty personally. Optic. You know, we need the esport for everything. It's our passion. Above anything else, it's my passion. That dude right there has been playing Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty 2. You know what I'm saying? And I may have not ever been gifted with what you guys have been gifted with, but I love the shit. I love the shit. I love S&D is my favorite. I just love it. I love the culture behind Call of Duty that we created. I mean, think about the lingo and the way that is spread across all the games, not just Call of Duty, right? Like a lot of the Call of Duty slang is used everywhere just because it's gamer lingo. And it all started in these videos that people were watching. And what was the most popular video that people were watching back then?
Sniper videos?
Sniper videos, Call of Duty videos. And then from there, people are like, oh, I'm going to play this shit. I'm going to play this shit. Like, C-Nanners came from Call of Duty, from when I first heard of him was Call of Duty. And then he went on to do Minecraft. And look at what he did with Minecraft. Captain Sparkles. I mean, you name all the old school ones. Like, it all came, you know, one way or another.
Everyone's fucking played Call of Duty, dude.
Yeah. It's
everyone.
And that's why the responsibility from both ends was so meaningful in this relationship, that if one of them didn't upkeep what they said they were gonna fucking do, that it was all gonna fucking fall apart, because it would have been a relationship in which only one person was working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think I understand that.
Yeah. Let's end it on a happier topic. Epstein Island. They are they're releasing 152. I'm kidding. We don't want to talk about that stuff. I find it hard to not, like, how much more can we endure as a league? You know, I get dragged back into it, man. I want to move on. End of the year's happening. What are you looking forward to the most this upcoming year? What have you mentally already committed to?
Just eating better. Just like, I've already kind of started, but like, just kind of want to just commit to it for a few months, see what happens.
Do you want to go hand in hand on a carnivore diet come January? Just eggs and meat. Why?
I just know I won't be able to do it. I don't cook like that, first of all.
Exactly, yeah. But you can get those delivered, right?
Plus, I want to do it in my, like, the way I want to do it.
You want to do it the way you want to do it. Doing it the way that you want to do it is the same way of me doing it the way that I want to do it, which is being 43 and not having accomplished what I wanted to accomplish from a physical standpoint. Being handsome can only take you so far. You have to have the machine that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's always mine too.
Yeah,
eating better, and I fluctuate, but I just love food, man. I don't know if I'll ever be able to.
It's so tasty.
Think about this. Tortillas, you can't eat them. Too many carbs. Beans, rice. I mean, that's
how often do you eat that?
Every day.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if I could. Yeah, dude.
It's a really godlike combo.
Mexican food is my shit. It's where it's at. Aside from that, from a competition standpoint, where do you see the team? How do you rank the team?
How do I rank the team?
Yeah, so far.
I mean, we're just like part of the big three. There's just going to be the same big three. Like us, FaZe, SSG. It's going to be like probably us three competing for a title every event. If another team does, I'd be very surprised. I would tip my hat to it. But I think
wouldn't surprise you either.
Wouldn't really surprise me at this point. Like, I mean, the game's been out for so fucking long. Like, if you don't know how to fucking play it by now, then like, Jesus Christ, what the hell are you doing with your days? But yeah, I mean, the game, it is a new starting weapon, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, to be honest, bro, I haven't really been thinking about Halo too much, like, just because we're in the off season and like people like SSG announced the roster yesterday. I did not care. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm just like the type of person where like once I get into a pattern, I just fucking care about the pattern. Yeah, I'm just like streaming Warzone and just like trying to build my stream right now. It's like all I care about. And when Halo comes around again, I'll care about Halo. It's just how I am. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, it's just gonna be.
When do you guys start practicing again?
I don't know. Fucking hopefully not for a long time.
Yeah, you could do without a couple of more months of just chilling.
Fuck yeah.
That's cool. Any plans going anywhere?
Not really. No.
Not going back home for Christmas?
I'm actually not. I don't know. I've just been like getting really like anxious on flights recently. and I just like need to figure out what's going on there. I just saw my mom. She helped me move in, so like cool there. I talked to my parents about it already, and they cool with it. But yeah, I just gotta, like I said, I just gotta get healthier. Really.
How old are you?
29 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of important now. Shit's gonna start mattering a lot. So
From what I understand, is that you have to do it 100%. There's no otherwise. People like you, people like me, that everything is black and white. You either commit or you don't commit.
yeah.
It just goes out the window.
Yeah.
You continue to eat great, feel great, taste great, be happy. Why does it have to be the choice?
No, why can't salad taste like fucking cookies?
Yeah.
Why hasn't that been like scienced yet? Like hello? Like,
I don't know. There's gonna be people who say, "Well,
gotta
I'll try
figure
this
that
shit.
shit
I'll try this shit." It's impossible. I mean, I think food is such an addictive thing. It's like you can ask heroin addicts that have been on it for a long time, back and forth, getting off and back on. Like, it's impossible to get off of food. It's the same thing.
It is, and the problem is, it's like, imagine heroin was like if you had millions of different types of heroin.
Yeah, and you needed it to live.
Yeah, exactly.
Sustenance.
And it's right down the street. It's on your phone. It's on Uber Eats, and it can appear to you like that.
Yeah,
and it's immediate fucking
yeah.
Satisfaction. Immediate.
A bigger hit of dopamine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like you never get sick of it. You never get sick of eating food and being really hungry and eating something like that you wanted. That feeling is like, it never gets old.
And before you 6-pack having people out there says, well, you can't do it. You just got to eat the right thing. We fucking know.
Yeah, bro.
We know
like,
all the
just get a grip, bro.
I can tell you right now. Cut out the three. Cut out the big three: sugar, pasta, and cocaine. No, okay. Yeah, it's sugar, pasta, and what else?
Carbs or some shit.
No, what is it?
Gluten.
Bread.
Gluten. What the fuck is gluten? No one knows what gluten is.
No one likes gluten.
No one knows what gluten is.
It is, right? They call it the three white devils: sugar, pasta, and bread. Yeah, sugar, pasta, and bread.
What am I supposed to eat then?
Yeah. Steak. No sugar. No. What are you gonna drink? No sugar. That coffee goes away. You can't even drink coffee. It's got sugar in it.
I need that coffee.
No fruits. Yes, I know it's in moderation. Relax. I've read it all. I've seen it all. I've hired professionals to get me right.
Yeah, let's just
nothing has helped.
Bro. Fuck this topic, bro.
This is getting sadder.
Someone's getting so much dope typing shit in the comments right now.
I'm gonna go eat something nice. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by, man. Thanks. Go get some sleep.
Yeah.
Been a long night. You are on a bender, dude. You're about to be 24 hours deep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode number 163. Huge shout out to HelloFresh and Shopify for sponsoring the podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
See you later.
Goodbye.